The Czech King handicap is race number 7 over the 1600 metres, and we've got Master Montaro on a 7-day backup. He ran 4th in the Chinese Club Challenge Cup last weekend. I'm a single man to the 1600 for the first time. Gear change on E-Star. He wears a tongue tie. We move on to Beluga, who's coming back from the 1800 at Happy Valley to the 1600 at Sha Tin. SJ Torbjorn has the blinkers on after failing first up. Conqueror has been placed second up. Rocket Spades up in trip to the 1600 metres. And the Irishman one start in Hong Kong for a third, and he comes into Class 2 for the first time. Speed map time, and Nick, this one really does have a focus towards the 4-year-old series.
It certainly does, as we take a look at it now. Master Delight, he likes to go forward, and there wouldn't seem to be a great deal of pace on in this race. Master Montaro also likes to race prominently. Beluga, who's been in very good form, he can sit a little bit closer, I'm sure, from a good gate in barrier number 3, and E-Star Conqueror will be following them, Paul. But some of the sort of the main protagonists, or the ones we're looking forward to, will be getting back, I imagine.
Yeah, the Irishman, he went back on debut. He did race forward before he came over here to Hong Kong, but they elected to go back, and he ran really well on debut here. Rocket Spade generally likes to sit midfield or worst, and I'm a single man. Here's another one who's gone forward in the past, but from barrier 8, I think they'll just try and slot in there.
OK, so that's the speed map for race number 7, and looking forward to the 4-year-old series here. Nick, is the series watch with 5 horses potentially heading firstly to the Classic Mile. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I'm a single man, obviously, last time out. He certainly, put his marker down, didn't he, with a good win when beating Circuit 3 and Co. And obviously Master Delight is a horse who's lightly raced coming into this, Paul. And SJ Torbjorn's got good form in the UK and Ireland, but really would need to sort of lift his game on what he showed on debut. And then a couple of really nice horses that we've seen just the once.
Yeah, Rocket Spade and the Irishman. So, yeah, I mean, all 5 of them. I mean, take out SJ Torbjorn because he does need to improve that debut, but the other 4 look all really well and good.
We can focus even further on one of them now. The Irishman having his second start in Hong Kong. Vincent Ho rode him on debut and partners him again on Sunday afternoon.
Vincent, the Irishman is a horse that you'll ride for the second time in Hong Kong this weekend. He gave you a nice feel last time, and it was a good run on debut.
Yeah, definitely. Got great turn of foot, and he's very professional. In the morning, he is a bit toey, and he can get a little bit keen in the morning, but in the race, he know what he's doing. Settled really well, and had he's brave enough to take gaps and go through horses.
He certainly did do that very well. Just on his recent trial, obviously, was that just a case of going through the gears? He looked to do it quite nicely.
Yeah, because still quite a while since last run, and better give him a nice blow.
And just on the trip, obviously, he goes up to a mile. Has that always been a thinking between yourself and Francis that he certainly wants that trip?
Yeah, and ready for him for the 4-year-old series. So it's a good race for him for the Classic Mile.
And you obviously know from previous experience what it takes to win, legs of that series naturally. Does he give you the impression that he'll certainly go through all the distances as far as the series is concerned?
Yeah, it felt really good last start. In a mile, surely no problem. And see how he performed afterwards and how mature he will be.
Just on where you're drawn, Vincent, it's only a small field, 9 of 9. How does that sort of affect your sort of gameplay going into the race?
Yeah, of course it's not ideal, 9 to 9, but looking in a good way, it's only a small field. I would say still better off riding him a little bit quieter. Seems like not much pace in the race, so we'll see how it pans out. He got a good turn of foot, so it should be fine.
Yeah, indeed. And just finally, on the other end of the spectrum, sprinters, Kerpenny was good for you on Wednesday night. That was a strong win.
Yeah, I think definitely blinkers really help, and former boss did a really good job on him. And thanks for keeping me on after the 1,000.
With a little wry smile, says Vincent, but he certainly repaid the faith on Wednesday night. Let's focus a little more on that race now, boys, with the Irishman. We saw that replay a short time ago, but here it is again. That is him back in the field, and it was a terrific finish, Nick, because the leader had gone very slow sectionals up front, and he was he was never going to beat him, but certainly taking plenty of ground off him.
Yeah, he was. The winner, the horse you alluded to, Beauty Joy, as we all know, has since gone on and run second to Packing Victory. So that form's very good. And I mean, this was as pleasing a debut from where he's pocketed away, Paul, as you could possibly wish for. I mean, he's made up any number of lengths here, and as Vincent said in that interview, he was brave to go through gaps, and he's certainly got a tenacious attitude.
Oh, definitely, and he did bring some good form from overseas. He raced in Australia and New Zealand before he got here. Beauty Joy is really primed up for that win as well, and as you say, he's gone on with it as well.
Yeah.
He has, and a perfect pair in those pink and black colours which finished down the track. He's come out and run a strong second in good company since. So the form out of the race is good. That is the Irishman. Next replay, we've got a few to focus on here. We'll talk more about I'm a Single Man, Paul, in just a moment, because we'll focus on him closely after we look at the stretch run. Rocket Spade will be fitter and up in trip, and SJ Torbin, as you said earlier, he really needs to improve off this performance.
Yeah, finished last year. Look, a good run, though, I thought, from Rocket Spade. Now, he did get up and win the New Zealand Derby, so he can get up to 2,400 metres. He's now racing at 1,600, up from 1,400. I don't know. Look, I've definitely got him in, but I just wonder if the longer trips for him. But it was still a really good run on debut here.
Yeah, it certainly was, wasn't it? He'll come into his own. I mean, look, even if you had to sort of pigeonhole him, he's going to be a Derby horse, isn't he? That's where he's sort of his main focus, I'm sure, will be. But yeah, look, a good run, and obviously take nothing away from the winner. He was very good as well. But you know, he's got to prove himself up over a mile. That was my slight concern with I'm a Single Man.
And here he is again, Nick. He did get all the favours here too. He never went round a horse. He's done a really good job recently, but as you said, unknown over further.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, he's well campaigned. He's you know, he's not been wasting any time in his box. Tony Cruz has been happy to run him, and he's had a busy campaign already. This will be start 6 coming up, and he's won a couple. So, look, his form is good. I do just query the trip slightly, especially going forward as well.
Yeah, I agree. Just up to the 1,600 metres. You can see there it's his first go over the trip. He's fit. He's got race fitness. He's rock hard fit. He's had 5 starts this season. He's won 2 of them and hasn't finished further back than 4th. So the horse is going well, but he's up against some of the big boys here, just that are quite progressive and really good stayers, I think, as well.
Absolutely. And Matthew Poon, 1 for 1 on the horse. He'll carry an extra £6 this week. I'm a Single Man for that last start win. Back to his race rivals now, and we're off to the trials, and Master Delight is the horse here, Paul, we're going to focus on. Just had the 4 starts in Hong Kong for a win, couple of placings and a 4th. He's up in weight too on that run behind Fast Most Furious last start, but what did you like as far as the trial goes? Yeah,
I thought the trial was pretty good. Nice, quiet trial from him. Look, there's no natural leader in the race here. Beluga's a possibility, but I think they'll be quite positive from barrier number 7, and if he gets his own way in front, look, his 4 runs have all been really good here in Hong Kong.
They have. I mean, he's been favoured on 3 of them, barring his debut. And I mean, that race last time behind Fast Most Furious, Senor Toba ran 3rd. He's come out and won. So another horse to sort of throw into the mix possibly for the series. But I think he'll appreciate the trip, but he has got more weight to carry.
This is Master Montaro. I mentioned earlier, Nick, he's on a 7-day backup. So this was in racing Group 3 level last week. Healthy Happy wins. He's up outside the speed there. We heard from Zach too last week. He is a horse that hasn't had a whole lot of luck since he's been in Hong Kong. He's had some bad barriers and just some unlucky tough runs.
He certainly has, yeah. I mean, he's a rock-solid horse, isn't he? I mean, this run, obviously, recently at a better level was a good run for sure. I mean, he's kept on. He's been beaten 2 lengths in the end. A bit like I'm a Single Man, I probably do just query the distance a little bit with this guy, and he has got a big weight, but Jerry's going to claim £3, so that's going to be a help.
Yeah, look, and as you say, it's easier. His last win was off a rating of 87, and he comes in with 93 with a claim, so he's not far away from that. He just has to give away weight to these horses, but he is a big horse.
Yep. And back to the Valley here, Paul. This is Beluga last time out. This was on the 8th of December. That is him in the pink colours there, and well, it's been a pretty strong form race, this one, because that is Zabrowski, who was winning at group level on Wednesday night. We've also got coming out of this race a horse that you've got a massive opinion on, Far.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, it was a good run. This is going to be a little bit harder for Beluga. He does like Sha Tin, though. That's one thing in his favour. He's a 4-time winner here at Sha Tin. Not over the 1,600 metres. This was 1,800, so he does have to come back to the 1,600. From barrier 3, I think they'll be quite positive on him as well.
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, look, he's got rock-solid form recently, hasn't he? He's done nothing wrong. And to be honest, that form around Zabrowski obviously looks a lot better now, doesn't it? And, you know, he's honest and he's tough, and he'll run his race.
And Sunny Star also came out of that race and has run into a placing behind Zabrowski. on Wednesday night. Selections, Paul.
Yeah, like the Irishman, I thought it was a really good debut run from him. Up to 1600 looks ideal, and he showed that really good turn of foot. So he's on top. Master Delight, if they leave him alone in front. Master Montero is going to find this a lot easier. And Rocket Spade, I think he can improve and run on strongly towards the end as well. So 9, 4, 1 and 8 for me in race 7.
Yeah, I've gone the same way as Paul here, the Irishman. I was just very taken by his debut run, and I think he's going to get a lot better as he progresses. So he'll go on top for me, the Irishman. Master Delight, I think, will really appreciate the trip, and that form's looking okay. Rocket Spade, I think he's still a horse further down the line. He'll come into his own, but he can certainly run well here for sure. And I'll throw Beluga in as well. It's hard to leave him out. The form around the Valley last couple of starts has been good, and first go at this trip at Sha Tin, 9, 4, ace and 5.